A new era is upon us, quite literally in fact, as the classic era servers have been resurfacing and surging in popularity lately, growing larger and larger every single week and signaling towards Blizzard that it might be time to launch some new servers specific to vanilla WoW, as people are looking back to the good old days and some people are even playing these classic era servers in a very, let's call it, alternate way, which could very well play a vital part in the next steps for classic WoW. So in this video, we will talk about the resurrection of the classic era servers, why this has happened, and talk about the possible impact this may have on classic WoW itself. So let's begin. This entire thing has really just been a wave slowly building itself up, and the classic era servers have slowly become more and more populated, and it's actually been very fun to see and somewhat of a natural process. Let's take this all the way back to when the Burning Crusade Classic came out. Classic Era was announced as a way to immortalize your characters that you had just played in Classic WoW, just in case you wanted to keep them as a hall of fame of your classic achievements, logging into your level 16 Naxxramas geared out warrior, and be like, yeah, I did this. These would be classic WoW servers which would never receive any future updates, and basically just be a place where your classic WoW characters would sit. At first glance this seemed kinda pointless, and these servers were doomed to die out, which they eventually did. They died out so much in fact that you could log on to any of the classic era servers during TBC, and there will be times where only up to 5 people were online at the same time, as I did this back in the day and made videos on it back then as well. And this made sense back in the day. We literally just went from Classic WoW into TBC Classic with the full hype of going through TBC and going into Wrath. That being said, something kind of interesting started happening. Quite slowly over time, people started missing Classic WoW and started going back to Classic Era. This started already in TBC Classic, but I believe it became most apparent in Phase 1 of Wrath Classic, and this is mostly for 2 reasons. Number 1, it has now been over 2 years since you played Classic WoW, and as time goes on, you just miss it more and more. Number 2, Phase 1 of Wrath Classic really facilitates you being able to do more than just played Wrath Classic, especially if you're only playing one character. Once you reach level 80 and you've done your reputation grind and heroic dungeon grind, raiding Naxxramas and the other raids available in Phase 1 will take you 2 to 3 hours per week, and if you raid log like a lot of people do, this gives you a lot of time to play whatever else you want. Some people chose to level up more alts in Wrath Classic, some people delved into PvP, some people tried out Dragonflight, and some people went back to Classic Era. As an added factor as to why the Classic Era servers have been popping lately, you also have Classic Hardcore. I chose to add this as an added factor here, as Classic Hardcore has always been around, especially the last couple of years, so this is not new. They have had tournaments both for achieving No Death Ragnaros, No Death Onyxia, and recently I've also been watching some Race to Wailing Caverns and Race to Ragefire Chasm events as well, which have been very entertaining, and I personally believe the Classic Hardcore movement is a major reason why Classic Era is popping off right now, but it's not the only reason. If Classic Hardcore was in fact the only reason, then Classic Era would have been popular since day 1, aka when the Era servers came out, which is simply not the case. It really is the perfect storm of Classic Hardcore being a very fun and engaging way to play the game, with an awesome community, as well as it being a long time since people played Classic WoW and are really missing it, and ready to give it another go, as well as people having a lot of spare time from playing Wrath Classic and raid logging in that version of the game. All of this happening at around the same time has resulted in a new era for Classic WoW, quite literally, and I can't stop wondering, what does this mean for the future? Season of Mastery just finished. It was a very, let's call it, interesting way to play Classic WoW, with some changes that made the game more fun, some changes that made it a little bit less fun. I guess it all depends on who looks at it. Either way, Season of Mastery contains 2 elements worth looking at. Number 1, it's a season. Being named Season of X, in this case Season of Mastery, indicates to me that there's another season coming out as well at some point. Number 2, Mastery. In this case, that meant more difficult gameplay, especially in raids. This also suggests that each season will have a theme attached to it, which is probably attached to some sort of gameplay or mechanism within the game. Speaking of Classic Era and also Classic Hardcore, if you are attempting the Classic Hardcore challenge yourself, or if you're just looking to get back into some vanilla content again, let's be real here. Vanilla questing can be a pain in the you-know-what. You have to travel back and forth from zone to zone, sometimes you have to cross the water and go all the way to the other continent just for a level or two and then travel back, and let's be real, it can be both frustrating and annoying, and also a little bit messy to know where to go and when to go there. Thankfully, the guys at Rested XP has got you covered with their amazing leveling add-on and their guide, crafted by the fastest speed levelers in the game to help you level up at a rapid pace. Rested XP even has XP modifiers to make it suit Season of Mastery, as well as a hardcore mode which automatically skips the most dangerous quests. You can check out Rested XP through the link down below, and I've been using it myself ever since it came out, and it's honestly a game changer. So in my mind, there are two seasons that really needs to be played out. Season of Hardcore and Season of PvP. Those names are not set in stones, but they do heavily suggest what the seasons are about. Season of PvP, to me, is a season focused on PvP, class balancing within PvP, and adding arenas and rated battlegrounds to Classic WoW. Season of Hardcore, to me, would provide us with so-called hardcore servers, and on these hardcore servers, each character would have one life, and if you die, you will not be able to resurrect. It would not delete your character, you will keep the option of staying as a ghost, so you can log in and look at your achievements and what you have done, or manually delete the character yourself. The Classic Era movement right now is roughly 90% hardcore players, so it's obvious that there is a demand for this in Classic WoW. There has been for quite some time now in fact, and with the demand growing, it just makes more and more sense. It also makes sense as other games have done the exact same thing, and seen incredible success with it, introducing different versions of the hardcore challenge where you either have to start over, or you lose a lot of your items upon death. Now, here's what I would like to see, and let me know if you agree or have anything to add in the comment section down below. Season of Hardcore, with hardcore servers like I just talked about, where each character has one life. I would like these servers to have 2 servers per region, 1 PvP server and 1 PvE server. I think a lot of people will choose the PvE server for this hardcore challenge, but having the option of playing on a PvP server for hardcore will be very fun and very interesting, and could also cause a resurrection of the South Park meme that made Live to Win famous in the WoW scene. I also feel like 2 servers per region really should be the maximum here, so 1 PvP and 1 PvE. At the beginning, this might mean some login queues, sure, but having seen how Season of Mastery went, and also seeing the reality of what happens on Classic WoW servers in general, there's a very clear and obvious trend where 95% of players eventually evacuate to whatever server is the most popular, and every other server really dies out. If people desperately want to play vanilla WoW without queues, we have the Classic Era servers available, so I would rather just keep it as 2 hardcore servers and get both of those as populated as possible. But once again, that is just my opinion, so please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider dropping a like down below, and subscribe for more Classic WoW videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.